Hello, 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 and welcome to another fantastic episode of Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion. Before we get started, let me first remind you that we are covered by the BIPCOT no government license that allows
We're
for
already
use,
the most professional podcast on the internet.
that allows for the use. See, I'm glad we don't do like editing and all that good stuff. We can just do this live.
Yeah.
So you get
Well, we
so,
used
so
to
you
do
get
it
all
live.
this so you get all this human energy,
Yeah.
fuck ups, and
Fuck ups. Yeah.
BIPCOT, and go look at our fucking link. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then we're also
You can
protected
look
by
at it.
Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969, which ruled that the government cannot punish inflammatory speech unless that speech is, quote, directed to inciting or imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action.
No matter how retarded it is, like on this fucking podcast.
Yeah. Therefore, like 98.5% of the stuff we say here on the podcast is hypothetical and probably made up on the spot.
Yeah.
No one listens to us anyway, so it's not likely to.
And we're
incite
talking
any.
about Minecraft anyway, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. I'm literally a boomer at this point.
Is that like a book by Hitler? I don't.
Jason's twins, his twin children, are going to be 21 soon.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
21.
And here I am getting ready for my next one to come around.
Yeah. Well, yeah. My oldest daughter just turned 12 this week, and my twins in September are going to be 11? 11, I think.
See?
So,
Milestones, man.
I know. My stepson just turned 19 in December, and my oldest is going to be 19 in April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My oldest is 14, and well, she'll be 15 in March, and we have one due in September.
Yeah.
So
Because you guys didn't social distance.
nope. What the hell else are we supposed to do during quarantine?
Right? Yeah. I just found out that my sister is expecting another one too, and I'm like,
Dude,
seriously?
there are quarantine babies being born in my fucking, like, lockdown babies being born in my neighborhood, and the lockdown is still going. Like, these babies, their entire existence from conception has been under lockdown. Like, they know.
They're prison
insane.
babies.
How long this has gone on. It's fucking ridiculous.
13 years from now, we'll have the rise of the quarantines.
The quarantines.
Quarantines, yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
God, I hope they lock all those boomers away just for that joke.
It's the new baby boom. It's gonna be the new baby boom. They're the new boomers.
Yeah.
So
Well, and they'll be sitting. I mean, not quite in the right time period, but they'll be sitting in a time period for like that will coincide with the World War I baby boom in the 20th century. So
yeah. So they're still, well, wasn't the baby boom World War II?
well, there was a baby boom after World War. There's been a baby
Well, after every war. Yeah, I know. But
After
like
May-
the boomers are called
Oh,
boomers.
the baby boomers,
because,
yes.
because when their dads got
1994,
back from war, they knocked their moms up right away, and there's this huge explosion of fucking population.
Well, allegedly, the dads knocked them up when they came home, and it definitely wasn't some
It
father
wasn't
sitting
Jody.
at home. Yeah, it wasn't
It
Jody
for
at all.
sure
No,
wasn't Jody.
Definitely
Yeah.
not. It wasn't that.
There's a reason they did away with the milkman. I'm just putting it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for
Yeah.
some reason, the postman persists.
Yeah, you thought Genghis Khan had a lot of offspring.
somewhere in Southern California, there's like one mailman with like 300 and something children. Just
Yeah.
Right outside Camp Pendleton.
yeah.
Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn comes to mind.
Huh.
Wasn't he the lead actor in that one movie where he donated a bunch of sperm and had like 400 some odd kids?
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, they just
So,
they
like-
use just the sperms.
So, like, the new
Really?
boomers are going to be the old boomers' great grandchildren, largely.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
the equivalent.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Or
but
grandchildren, because my parents would have been considered
they're-
boomers.
Well,
Yeah, my
they'll-
dad is a boomer, and he's 75 or 76, right?
Yeah,
and
my dad was born in 49 and my mom was born in 54. So
yeah, my dad was born in 45, I believe.
They'll be
Yeah.
great grandchildren. No, great grandchildren.
Great grandchildren. That's what I just fucking
Well,
said.
except for
You guys,
no,
I've
in my
already figured
hey,
it out before
in
you
my
even
case,
said it. Stop.
in
in
my
my case, it would be
grand.
grandchildren.
and in my
Yeah.
case, it would be great grandchildren.
Yeah.
So
I just like most of our generation whose parents were like the older boomers, right? The Gen X kids. Most of our, like a lot of Gen X's grandparents already. So it would be like, you know, the young, fertile ones. Except for a couple of my neighbors.
Yeah. Speaking of boomers.
I have so much to say about boomers.
Yeah.
Speaking of boomers, can we talk? Can we just go right into this Robin Hood stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
that's
Reddit,
Oh,
the Reddit Robin Hood, our
Yep.
Wall Street, GameStop. Like of all the places to say,
AMC.
I know.
like
Did
of
you
all
guys
the
see
places-
that? Did you guys see that meme, like when the Wall Street investors walk into a GameStop to see what the big deal is, and all they find is like 14 used copies of fucking fantasy football and overpriced fucking like game paraphernalia or
Funko
whatever the hell
Pops.
they called it.
yeah, a bunch of Funko
Yeah,
Pops.
Funko Pops. Yeah. And the guy's just standing there looking fucking bewildered. Like, why did they save this?
Did you guys see the meme of the one where it's a bunch of people sitting around a boardroom and Big Bird's sitting there? GameStop when Reddit turns it into a Fortune
Yes.
500 country.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he's
Company.
just sitting there like, well, this is awkward.
I saw that one.
Well, and
was great.
on CNN, somebody that some of us know on Facebook actually had one of their memes show up on a broadcast on CNN as they were talking about it. Yes.
Wow.
Kanan Vitolo, his meme with the chick going, no, you need to sell it, honey. We could be millionaires. And he goes, no, I have to make them pay, is the guy's head. That showed up on CNN on their like money broadcast about it.
Excellent.
We're all like, dude, you're famous.
Whose name was that? I
Did he
don't know.
watermark it at least?
No, it's not water. Are you kidding? No, real meme lords don't watermark their memes.
Anarchists
Come on.
don't watermark
That's
their-
we don't watermark our memes.
What
Bullshit,
pisses
you
me
do
off
too,
is when I
Andrew.
see like
Well,
anarchism pages watermark my fucking memes with their
Oh,
pages
yeah.
logo.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that shit
Yeah.
pisses me off.
They're
talking
fucking
about
pirates.
you, Logical Anarchy.
Yeah.
I didn't
Well,
say
hey,
it.
I'll call him out.
the,
I'm fine with that.
yeah. No, he.
Or
I don't think
peaceful
he watermarked it or
anarchism or
anything, but
whatever.
It was funny. It was just really funny to see it, and then he posted a screenshot of it. He's like, "Hey, you guys recognize this?" Holy shit!
So, all right, let's talk about before we get to Derica's, because
Oh my god.
we have to prep Derica before she snorts and
It's
this is
my
so loud.
favorite fucking story in like the last decade, probably my favorite news story.
which is why we're making her wait. All right,
Maybe ever. Maybe
All right,
ever.
the plane in Southern California, or sorry, San Francisco. Some guy made enough money to have a plane fly a banner right around the Robin Hood headquarters.
Yeah.
That's,
And what did the banner say, Jason?
What did that banner say?
it said, "Suck my nuts, Robin Hood." It's fantastic. If you're watching, I mean, there's the picture of the banner. If you're watching,
Yeah.
but it's yeah, it says some small investors who have been blocked from making money on the Robinhood platform apparently still have enough money to hire a pilot to send a message. Suck my nuts, Robinhood. The banner flew in the skies above San Francisco, where the Robinhood headquarters are located. The message, which is dripping in anger, is an above-earth response to the company's decision to restrict trading of 50 stocks, including GameStop, AMC, and BlackBerry. So,
I think Nokia was on that list too. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
oh
Well,
God,
your
say
BlackBerry and the like those are not worth saving, people.
Neither is GameStop, to be frank. I mean,
No.
Well, I mean, realistically, the fact that you would buy a GameStop at a high stock price and then have to resell it at a very low one fits perfectly with GameStop. So
it does. It does.
there was another. There's
a cruel irony, Kronk.
yeah. When the stock finally crashes back down and people are selling it for 27 cents.
Yeah.
Yep.
Revenge.
GameStop got me again.
So
There was another one that I saw. It was a picture of the last Blockbuster, which is up in Alaska. It says, "Hey,
No,
Reddit."
in Bend, Oregon.
Yeah, it's in Bend.
Was there
Oregon.
one? Is it in Bend?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's
So
in
They have a
Bend.
Twitter, which is so worth following. I
I know.
cannot tell you.
They
They
set up a
posted a
fucking
picture.
room in it, so you can rent the room for the night and stay inside the fucking Blockbuster.
Ironically, it's right next to the adult section. I don't know. But they posted a picture of it and said, "Hey, Reddit, we could use some help."
Yeah, on their Twitter, they're like, "Hey,
Yeah.
Reddit, do your thing." And oh, it's so that
Is
Twitter is so.
Blockbuster still publicly traded when they have just one fucking store left?
Well, if they were publicly traded and they didn't buy out all of the shares, they would have to.
Like,
be.
yeah, they're still they
Yeah.
must still be publicly traded. Yeah, the other day on their Twitter they had posted it in like earlier in the day something about we found an old 2-liter
we found
of Surge.
found
in the back.
Found a 2-liter of Surge in the back. We're paying Andy $18 to drink it if anyone wants to watch.
The follow-up tweet though is so much better because they're like, Andy's in the hospital. We're setting up a GoFundMe.
Yeah, we got a card for Andy, and we're gonna run it over to the hospital after close up. I have the Twitter up. It's
Oh, their Twitter is
Oh.
so worth following. It has been consistently glorious.
we
Just
hired a spinner, but we don't have a sign, so he's spinning copies of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh, it's so great. Oh man.
This week, we are officially terminating Donald J. Trump's Blockbuster account, and we will seek litigation to collect the $35,670.42 in late fees.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh man. Yeah, they're so funny.
A group of goth teens just cleaned us out of every copy the night before Christmas. It's a holiday miracle.
Can you imagine like having to tell people too that like, oh well, where do you work? Oh, Blockbuster, and have them look at you and be like, no, you don't. And you're like, no, seriously, I work at Blockbuster.
I'm one of the last 5 employees of Blockbuster.
Of Blockbuster. Just that's
God,
it.
they have 422,000 followers.
Yep.
Jeez.
That doesn't surprise me.
They have more followers than they will.
What they
ever
need
have.
to do is take that game to Patreon, and then they could start building their fucking empire again. If they can get that many followers, they should be on fucking Patreon.
That would be fucking great. Like, hey, donate to our Patreon, and we'll give you
Patreon, however you say.
Cheap access to the rental. I mean, what are they going to give you in response for you giving them money on Patreon? Like
comedy. Comedy. $1 a month. Patreon.
Oh my God!
$1.
You know
and they
what
have
just
400 and some odd thousand followers.
Yeah, you know what you could do is you could do like find an old 90s era video camera and record like the video reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And like post those like where they do reviews of videos in a Blockbuster on a 90s like VHS tape and then upload, digitize it and upload it so it's that crappy 90s quality. It would be fucking gold.
Yeah. And they have to live stream some of the hijinks and shit, like.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They had a picture, I think, on their Twitter the other day where they were like, look, we have like 6 customers. 6 customers.
Wow, we went way off the rails.
Okay, that's that's the area of the store that you can rent. It looks like a cheesy 90s.
Yeah, well they did it all up to look like the fucking 90s. So it's like, it's super kitschy and really fun looking.
It's kind of, oh my God, it's a VCR.
Yeah. Yeah, they got a fucking
works?
VCR.
Yes. I have so many tapes here I could send them.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like, oh my God.
Saved by the Bell comforters.
Yeah, nice.
Hey, hell yeah! Didn't Dustin Diamond?
It's only $4 a night.
Nice. Well, it's about the same cost as a rental.
Yeah.
But didn't Dustin Diamond just get? He was just diagnosed with stage 4 like cancer.
Something like that. Yeah.
That I saw the other day. So yeah. So Screech the.
Yeah, if I didn't feel old before. Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Andrew.
You know, he used to live around here. Weirdly,
All right, back to the story. Back
He's
to the
originally
story.
from Wisconsin.
was he?
All right.
That's just
Yeah.
freaking. Oh, don't
All
tell
right,
people that.
my
Don't tell
story.
people that.
My story now. My
Fucking
story
young,
now.
fucking youngsters and their ADD.
Uh,
Defiant Redditors buy Times Square billboard as GameStop stock saga rages.
it's so great.
Jason, tell us what was on the billboard.
No, it's in the article. I'll get to it.
Ah,
Defiant
Yeah.
amateur investors on Reddit say they are not backing down
that's
on
my
their
favorite thing
investments.
they've been called, by the way. I loved that fucking
Amateur
that phrase.
investors.
No, defiant
Oh,
amateur
defiant.
Yeah.
Yes. Defiant amateur investors on Reddit say they are not backing down on their investment in GameStop, and he even took out billboards on Times Square and across the country, urging the faithful to continue holding the line.
You have to see it because
Yeah.
it not only does it say Jimmy Go Brrrr, but it's actually got the tracker at the bottom of
Yes.
the stock just shooting up for no reason out of nowhere. They're just like, yeah, motherfuckers. Yeah.
I was like,
We're up
that
to
was like
4 already.
That was like 4 or 5 in a minute.
Can you imagine being an actual stock trader on Wall Street and you walk out of your office, look up, and that's the billboard that you see?
Oh my god!
Jimmy Go
It gets
Brrrr.
this
That
article.
was,
Hold on.
that's what was killing me last night. They
This-
fucking did it in Times Square.
Hold on. This article gets even better. So GME Go Brrrr blared a digital ad on the corner of 54th and Broadway in Manhattan. The ad ran for an hour on Friday. Was a creation of digital billboard maker Matea Posada. The line refers to a popular internet meme that uses brrr to signify the sound of a money printing machine makes.
Not
GME
just a money printing machine, the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, it's the
The
Federal
money
Reserve
printing
money
machine.
printing machine.
GME is the stock ticker symbol for the New York Stock Exchange. Investors on Reddit have driven the price of GameStop, a dusty mall electronics retailer worth only $2.75 a share at one point last year,
Dusty's a good word for it.
to astronomical highs in just days. From
half
a-
of what killed me last night was the way that this was written.
oh, it is.
Whoever wrote
There's
this.
so many. There's so many good little lines in here. But from a value of just under $40 a share on January 14th, the stock skyrocketed to $4.3 a share. Though price swings have been extremely volatile, the stock has spent much of the last 5 days comfortably above $300.
You gotta wonder what the CEO and like the board of investors for GameStop, like what they thought when this started happening. Like they had to be going, what's going on? What's actually going? What is happening?
And you
Guys,
know where
what's
this
happening?
you know where this started. It's their fucking employees. Because you
Yeah.
know all their
Yeah.
employees are on Reddit. You fucking know they are.
Yeah, and they're just like, hey guys, how about yeah, oh
Yeah.
man. And they probably had some wild like bonus structure for their corporate employees for how like, oh well, if our stock goes over X amount
Yeah.
per share, we'll get, and now they're going, oh shit. Please don't close the quarter like this. Please don't close the quarter like this.
What fucking kills me about keep reading. Go ahead,
All right.
Jason.
The movement, they put movement in quotation marks. The movement was initially organized by those on the Reddit page Wall Street Bets. The pirate investors convulsed markets all week, pumping up GameStop's price in an effort to stick it to the hedge fund short sellers who bet against the stock and plan to profit from its failure.
What do they fucking mean in an effort to? They fucking
Yeah.
stuck
They
it.
did it.
Instead,
They
instead
stuck
prices
it to
bankrupt
them
a
like
couple of
Bubba
them
in
already.
fucking prison.
Yeah, they squeeze. So if any, do we want to explain what short selling is?
just a second.
Wait a minute.
Instead, prices surged because the renegade buyers and some Wall Street institutions were brought to their knees.
The renegade buyers, the
belong.
pirate investors, they're just sailing around
All right.
Wall Street on a ship.
Yeah.
If I had been involved in this, I would have built a ship on a car frame and driven
Yeah,
it around
just-
Wall Street.
You get a 78 Chrysler New Yorker and you just slap a ship frame on. It's not the same size as a fucking pirate ship.
Yeah.
And
Like
then
they- like they
blast
did
the
in-
Pirates of the Caribbean theme as you're driving around.
Yeah.
Like they did in
Dun, dun,
Animal
dun,
House.
dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun.
parked directly outside of Charles Schwab and just like
Quote, for the first time, it's almost as if God gave a reason for all of us to band together to battle corruption and stand for what is clearly right. I have never experienced unity like this before, regardless
Yes.
of where you belong in the political spectrum. Everyone is unified in what needs to be done. Posted one Reddit user using almost biblical terms.
Yes. Almost biblical. No, those were pretty biblical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
movement resulted in potentially billions in losses for the Wall Street barons, one of whom, Melvin Capital, required a $2 billion bailout from
Mhm.
hedge fund boss and Mets owner Steve Cohen.
So it really did literally bring them to their knees.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
had to go suck a dick.
An effort by the trading app Robinhood to prevent GameStop purchases during the height of the frenzy has now resulted in a class action lawsuit against the company. Populist politicians on both sides of the aisle have gotten into the act.
well, and
Mhm.
let's not forget who sits on the investment board for one of the hedge funds specifically.
Bernanke.
Yeah.
Bernanke.
Bernanke sits on the board, the one who is behind at the Federal
I
Reserve.
thought it was
crash
Yellen.
and wait. No, it's Bernanke.
Bernanke? Yeah.
And he sits on that, and then it turns out Citadel Investments is in fact a major shareholder of Robinhood Financial.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, look at that! But they were
Yeah.
force selling everybody's stocks just to protect their vulnerable investors.
Yeah.
Right.
Quote, this is
Mhm.
unacceptable. We need to know more about at Robinhood app's decision to block retail investors from purchasing stock while hedge funds are free to trade on the stock that they see fit. That is a tweet from AOC.
Yeah,
she's
and
right.
It
Ted
upsets me
Cruz,
that I agree with her.
Mhm.
Ted Cruz agreed with her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did
He
too.
said,
He
I
That's
actually,
how you
agree
know shit is
100%.
going completely sideways when
Yeah, he-
Ted
I
Cruz and
I wanna-
AOC.
I know. And I
he
wanted
not only agreed,
I wish I could have seen her face when she
Yeah.
heard that he said that.
he not
Because
only
especially-
she would be
Oh.
looking for any way to fucking backpedal just because
Mm.
Ted
No,
Cruz
so
wanted
so she quote retweeted him, or he quote retweeted her, which was pretty big, and her response was, "Well, thanks for agreeing with me, but it would be nice if I could get the agreement of a senator who didn't just try to have me killed a couple of weeks ago." Was her response?
Yeah,
What
that
the
was her
because
response.
that's
Yeah.
Because of the Capitol, the storming into the Capitol.
yeah,
She
that's
said,
God.
yeah.
that fucking psychopath. But no, so I think we should explain what short selling is so people actually understand like what the hell is happening. So basically when you short sell, what you're doing is you're borrowing stock. You're basically saying, hey, and you bet when you borrow that stock that it's going to sell for less than you're borrowing at. But if it doesn't, you have to buy it at whatever the price that it's selling at the end of the time period is.
Mhm.
So you're basically you're purchasing, you're borrowing the options to purchase the stock, but you are on the hook for it. So
Right.
if it sells for the amount that you're betting or less, the person that you're shorting it from has to then buy it back from you at the new price.
Yeah, so you make a profit.
So you make a profit. But if
Right.
it goes from $40 a share to 300 plus,
430.
yeah,
I
now
thought it was at $2.75 at one point.
Yeah, last
last year. Last year.
Last year. Okay.
yeah,
It was
so
January 14th. It was at 40.
yeah, so basically what happens is that you're making a bet. You're wagering that when you go to actually at the end of this time frame that you've established contractually, if the stock is at or below the price that it was when you got it, then the person will have to buy it back from you at the so the person will
at
have
the
to buy
current
it back
market
from you
value.
at the current market value plus whatever. Whereas if it's selling above that, you have to buy it from them
Mhm.
at the
Right.
current market price. And you were going to get fucked because you were supposed to buy it at, at $30, $40 a share, and now it's 300, 400. you're now suddenly it's increased so much. You are screwed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely screwed, and you're bankrupted. I mean, that's what happened to Melvin Capital, is that they got bankrupted.
Mhm.
They didn't have the money to actually cover the put, so they
And
were
then,
forced to go, hey, could you maybe give us like a couple $1 billion? Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Steve Cohen bailed them out to the tune of $2 billion, and then
Well,
got
I will say-
allegedly got death threats, and ended up deleting his Twitter.
I mean, I'll give him credit.
And why
at
did
least,
they
at
need a
least it was
bailout
him
from
that
him?
bailed them out.
Isn't that company worth like 20 billion?
I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't know. I have a smartphone in my hand. I can look it up.
Yeah, it's quite a bit, but yeah.
Why'd they need a bailout?
Reported to have $8 billion in assets as of
So
January 2021.
Yeah.
As far as
Sell
liquid
some
capital, they don't
Yes.
have it.
Skip.
Yep.
Here. This is what you do.
Melvin
Skip
Capital
your-
lost
skip your daily-
53% in January.
Skip your daily Starbucks. Okay.
Yeah, just
The
maybe go to the
CEO of
movies
Melvin
only twice a month.
Capital.
Budget. Don't eat out. Budget. You need to build a budget.
What was the meme? No more avocado toast. Make your own coffee and learn how to budget.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
so basically they because they had borrowed the
Have a
shares.
yard sale.
Have a yard sale.
learn to code.
Yeah,
How much
so
do you think we can get for all these desks over here?
Yeah, it's yeah, so the short seller, essentially they borrow the shares, they sell them, and then they expect the price to decrease, at which point they can then profit by purchasing the shares to give back to the lender.
Right.
Is the idea. And if it
When it doesn't, when it
So
doesn't.
basically, they're making these shares collateral on loans, essentially,
Yes.
when they
More or
don't
less,
even own
yes.
them yet.
So when they
Yeah.
if they sell them at $40 a share, and then now it's $400 a share, they have to buy those stocks back at the new price, which is why everybody's saying, well, don't sell your shares right now. You hold it and you force them to pay if you want to break the system, because they will now have to sacrifice $360 per share.
That they
Times
short
how many
sold.
thousands and thousands of shares, that they short sold.
Let's see. As of this recording, which is 6:39 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sunday, GameStop is at 325. 325.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, they
Hey,
completely
yeah,
fucked.
so then there's that other meme. The next time everybody's going to make money like this fast, somebody shoot me a fucking text. Please.
Yeah,
Right?
please give me a heads up so that I can maybe like get in on this, buy this stock. I'm not going to hold it to the end because I would rather have the money personally, but because that money translates into
There you go.
valuable metals like aluminum,
the
steel,
one-
brass, and lead.
The 1 month curve.
Whee!
GameStop.
It's just do.
You ever play that game Excite Bike?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, the funny thing is if you look at that graph, that dip that's right after that peak there, I bet you that's where Robinhood sold everybody's stocks.
It
Yeah.
dropped down to 193 at that peak.
Yep. So they force sold everybody's stocks, but then
And now they're being sued.
and
Yeah.
you know the funny thing is
And
the funny thing is
investigated by the SEC.
Well, not only that.
this
Okay.
isn't the first time.
No.
Robinhood has been on the hook before to the SEC for artificial stock manipulation and things, and wound up having to pay like $86 million before, just a few years ago. They had to do that. So this is not the first time that Robinhood Financial has done some shady fucking shit and then got caught.
I'm really offended by what they named their fucking company.
Yeah, Robinhood. The irony of a company calling itself Robinhood that then tries to prevent the poor from making money in the same way as the rich
Yeah.
Right.
is
Yeah.
just
While at the same
overwhelming.
time marketing themselves as exactly that, a way for you to independently invest.
Yep.
Did you see the GameStop post, their tweet?
No.
The GameStop tweet is fucking glorious. Hold on, I know I screenshotted it because it was so
here.
great.
Elizabeth Warren is calling for an SEC investigation.
So this is how fucking unifying this is. Everybody everybody is agreed that this shit was fucking wrong.
Oh,
That
yeah,
what
yeah.
Robin Hood did.
Yeah, they retweeted a Robin Hood tweet. The Robin Hood tweet says "Let the people trade," and then a GameStop retweeted it with the
with the
Side-
monkey
look
that
si-
that
look
monkey
sideways
The
one.
side eye monkey. Yeah.
Yep.
I call him the side
That's
eye monkey.
glorious.
Isn't that fucking great?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Oh.
good one. No. But what I love about this more than anything else, like, okay, cool, people made some money. They did some cool things. There was like the kid in Dallas that made a bunch of money, and then there was another guy and somewhere else that took the profits and bought like a bunch of video game systems for some children's hospital. And there was some other
Nice.
people that bought a bunch of food and took it to food banks and charities and things like that, which is fantastic. I love all that. But
Awesome.
the thing that I love the most about this is that in the past year, we've had the Black Lives Matter protest, right? We had the Capitol protest. We had the anti-lockdown protest. We had the anti-mask protest. We had the anti-gun control protest. We had all these protests in the last year, and none of them, or
Accomplished
all of them combined, didn't scare the elitist as much as the
this
last
did.
week of trading.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, and it's because in this, and I had to kind of explain this to a couple of people.
Oh,
where I
that
said,
was
"No,
my favorite
you-
meme, the Bernie Sanders one, where he's
Yeah.
like, looks really pissed off, like he's sulking. And it says,
Yeah,
what a bunch of Redditors piss off Wall Street more in 1 week than you have in 79 years.
yeah. Well, yeah. That's. I mean, and I've had to explain that to some people. Like, here was the danger. Here is still the very real danger. Is if all of these hedge funds lose out on all of the shorts, because that's where hedge funds make their real money. That's where most people who short
Right.
sell make their real money. And there are plenty of short sellers out there who are actually moral short sellers. They're really cool people that intentionally destroy immoral companies and things by short selling them. That happens, right? Actually that one pharmaceutical company that got destroyed not that long ago, it was because of one short seller that it got fucking destroyed, and she straight up said she won't even sell her stock until it hits zero, because she hates them that much. So, but short selling is such a big money thing that if all of these hedge funds start losing all this money, they're immediately going to have to tell all of the banks who lent them the money to even do this, hey, I can't pay you back.
Right.
Like, I just can't. And they're going to default on that debt, which leaves the smaller banks, well, they're not small, but the banks that are above them on the hook for the debt. Well, those banks can't possibly pay off that debt. So
Well,
now
I don't
they're
care.
gonna
Those are
implode.
big banks. Those are big, powerful fucking banks.
But so now they're
Right.
on the hook and they can't possibly pay that off, which means they're going to go to the Federal Reserve and say, hey, we can't pay this off, which leaves the Federal Reserve on the hook. And the Federal Reserve is either going to have to print so much money that the U.S. economy implodes, or they're going to collapse upon themselves and implode. And that tears the entire fucking system down. Like, you are, by doing this, you are threatening the entire system.
And it's even
It's glorious.
This one hit the fucking target.
I'll even go one step further. And because the government is giving the people the money to do this.
Yeah, and
the stimulus checks.
And it's all being perpetrated by a bunch of fucking weaponized autism. I mean,
yeah,
fucking greatest thing ever.
I love that. That's become
Redditor potato in my ass.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's outsmarted these hedge fund investors.
Oh.
And then they fucking put up a billboard in time.
Yeah. Oh, Jimmy go brrrr.
I think that has to be the episode title now.
You know what? Yeah.
Put the acronym for Anarchy Among Friends. AAF go Brrrr. That's our fucking title.
Oh my god! I mean, and it's so fucking funny because then after they make all that money, exactly with the sign circling Robinhood for restricting the trading and the sign, the big billboard in Times Square, then they're taunting the shit out of everybody. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
We figured out the way to play
Yep.
your game
And
better than
we're using it to fund our uprising against you
You.
at your expense.
There's
you
another
gave
one
us
that
the money.
I find.
It's your fucking game, and we're going to use it against you.
Yep.
There's another really good one too. It's
I'm not sure the Redditors put
billboard.
that much thought into it though.
No,
No,
it's like
probably not.
it's like Russian roulette. I mean,
Yeah.
the federal government's going, let's put another bullet in the chamber. Spin.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Well, yeah, but I at least initially they may not have thought of that, but I've heard from a few guys who participated in it and stuff, and know after it started and because of the reaction that they got, they went, wait a minute, why are you so upset by this? And then they started looking into it and realized, oh my god, what did we stumble on?
Facebook actually just deleted their Facebook group, which had like 150,000 people in it.
Oh Jesus.
Or 153,000 people in it or something like that. So
Anything to take away their ability to coordinate.
Yeah, well, and meanwhile, the Reddit group that originally started it just went private, and Reddit has said, no, we're not messing with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
see, and that's the other thing. It's the same thing as the Capitol protest, right? It took someone to do it, and then once someone did it, other people are going to do it.
Yeah.
Right? There's going to be groups popping up all over that are going to do the same sort of thing.
And it doesn't just have to be in short sales. Like, it doesn't just have to be a squeeze. There are thousands of ways to make money on the stock market. And if people, like big groups, are exploiting each of these, like, seriously, that's the elites have their fucking backs against the wall at that point, because we're messing with the only thing they give half a fuck about, and that's their own wealth and prosperity.
Yeah, well, I mean, and short selling is the easiest way to attack them there, because you can't force people to sell to drive a price of stock down, but you can convince a whole bunch of people to buy to drive the price of a stock up. So by attacking all these short sellers all over the place, by figuring out what stocks are all of these hedge funds trying to short on, and then attacking those, they are altering the power landscape when it comes to money, and we all know that money equals power.
Yes.
Right. And
so
with the whole short selling thing, most of those short sell contracts have a sunset clause on them too. So if you short sell at the beginning of the quarter or the beginning of the month or whatever, depending on your credit with the broker with which you're doing the short sale, they can demand that you buy them back, say in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, which is why that one company went, oh shit, we need a bailout.
Right.
It's because their sunset hit and the price was way up there, and they're like,
Friday.
oh, we're fucked. Yeah.
And
they're like, oh, we're fucked.
Well, yeah, so what you're doing.
And you know what? I've learned more about the stock market in 1 week than I learned in 40 fucking years.
If you really want a really good explanation on short selling and stuff and a detailed understanding of it, there's an episode of Dirty Money on Netflix that is specifically about the short seller who helped destroy that pharmaceutical company. Watch that episode, because the short seller herself, who's a legendary short seller, she actually goes into exactly how that all works and what you're doing. So it's a really good way to now understand what's happening, what's being fucked with. It's really, really interesting. That's actually why I knew going into this, when I saw that they're fucking with short sellers, I immediately went, oh no. This is going to be great.
If only you could get enough people to unite to like drive Facebook stock into the toilet that way.
Into the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Like, hey, guess what, Mark Zuckerberg? You're gonna have to sell everything you own.
Yeah. He maintains 51%, right? He maintains the controlling.
Yeah, he does. But if that share
if
value,
the other 49.
I know. He'll have to sell it off. I know.
Yeah.
And then the
but I mean,
people will fucking own Facebook, the investors, all the little guys.
can you imagine if Reddit wound a bunch of fucking Redditors wound up owning Facebook? You know what would happen with that fucking platform?
God, the memes would be glorious.
Facebook would be so much fun again.
It
Oh my
would be.
God.
I might actually have to sign back up.
It would be the wild
And they'd let
fucking
you.
west at
I'm
that
like,
point.
"Nah."
Yeah, they'd probably let you. They'd be like,
Yeah.
"Ah, we're just gonna go with." I mean, yeah, you would wind up with a complete chaotic platform. And the funny thing is that like I just would love to see Zuckerberg's face when he realizes he's no longer in control of Facebook, and a bunch of these 4chaners and Redditors are, and like that he has no power anymore, and just like.
Like my
What?
fucking 13-year-old is on 4chan.
That would be
Oh
the
my
most
goodness.
glorious hostile takeover in
It
history.
would be fucking
I'm
hilarious.
telling you, he's got it in him. My Caleb, my 13-year-old, that kid is diabolical. He's quiet. You never see it coming, but he's fucking.
You know
He's
that-
sharp.
You know they'd like vote to like mandate that all of the Facebook offices repaint their walls Pepto-Bismol pink and
Yeah.
like just all this stupid shit.
Oh
just
no,
that they
I
can.
think that they would demand that like huge cocks be fucking painted
And
on the walls.
just penises everywhere.
Yes.
Just like an entire mural of interlocking dicks.
Yeah.
30 feet long.
Who's the company that did that? The Dick Camo.
Oh yeah, that somebody has the dick. I've actually seen a Glock it was a cock Glock.
Yeah.
that was done Cerakoted in Dick Camo. And and the funny thing is that like you could probably find somebody who already had some sort of artwork for that mural all prepared on like DeviantArt. You could just be like, hey, I want that just painted on here, and just have it done overnight.
Any teenage boy in the fucking country, I'm sure it's on their fucking. Oh, that nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
Dick Camo.
Look at that.
Dick Camo. It's and the funny thing is that the phallus is actually like one of those things that you see used as like graffiti throughout history, like the Greeks and Romans. Like every time we look at like Roman ruins and things, and you look at the graffiti on them, the Roman soldiers did so many fucking dicks.
Hadrian's Wall has Roman dicks all over it.
Yeah, there's dicks everywhere that they could draw a dick, they fucking did. They
have found engravings of dicks on the Great Wall of China.
Yeah, I watched. I actually watched on the Great Courses Plus. I watched a presentation on ancient graffiti, and the guy's like,
"This is a documentary that we fucking need. We need
Yeah.
a 3-hour documentary on ancient dick graffiti."
All right.
He goes, the most prolific thing in ancient graffiti, and he just starts hitting the PowerPoint next slide button, and he's like, click, 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 just like, look at this, seriously.
Men never fucking change. Ever.
3,000 years, the most popular single image that soldiers have ever drawn anywhere is a fucking dick.
Well,
and let me tell you,
we've had
something.
Navy
It's
pilots.
This isn't like cultural, okay? My kid, the first time he played with base 10 blocks for math, he was like 6 years old, and he made a fucking dick out of them with balls and everything. It's just a fascination of the male mind.
You look at it now, we've got Navy jocks and fighter pilots that take their multi-billion-dollar planes and draw dicks in the sky with them.
That was awesome. Oh, that's one of my other favorite articles.
Oh yeah, those two between the GME Go Brrrr and the giant sky
and the sky dick,
the legendary sky. That should really be a folk song. The legend of the great sky dick.
Yeah, it can be on the same album as the legend of that guy who fucking crossed the Irish Sea on a jet ski to see his girlfriend.
The ballad of, what was his name? Do we remember what his name was?
We named the episode after him. What would
what was his
somebody do?
I don't know,
what was his
Dane or
name?
something like that.
Yeah,
Dane something or other.
Just something really common, like a super common name.
Yeah. His name was. Give me just a second. I can actually give you his name. Dale McLaughlin.
Dale.
It'll be the
Dale.
Ballad of Dale. Will also
Yeah.
be on there.
Yeah.
So the Legend of Great Skydick, the Ballad of Dale.
Yeah. Yeah. The Times Square billboard.
I have no.
Suicide in Times
I
Square.
can't segue to anything from that.
I know, but we just spent an hour talking about this. Almost
Like-
an hour talking
Like
about
40 minutes.
Yeah.
I really expected the entire episode to just be about this, to be honest.
Yeah,
So
that's what I
expected
kind of
it to be an
expected.
hour.
Well,
We can
should we
move
jump
on
from
now.
this to anal swabs?
Yeah.
Oh, we
move
have
this
to
anal
save the anal,
swab?
we have to save the anal swabs for later because there's an article that's going to make us angry, and I want the anal swabs to make us feel better.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, many people want anal swabs to make them feel better.
Give us the angry article. Let's crank this roller coaster up to 100.
Yeah.
Up, down,
How about
up,
this?
down, up, down.
Social media influencer charged with spreading 2016 election disinformation.
Disinformation in the election.
Yeah.
Disinformation according to whom?
Yeah, a Florida man with a big social
Oh,
media
yeah,
following was
Florida
arrested on
man.
federal charges Wednesday on accusations that he used platforms such as Twitter to conduct a targeted voter suppression campaign in 2016,
Oh, yeah. 'cause
including with tweets urging people to, quote, avoid the line, vote from home.
Yeah.
It was a fucking joke.
The guy was posting jokes. Those
Yeah.
jokes went around everywhere, like Hillary voters, or Democrats.
Yeah.
You vote.
Oh yeah,
here
I
at this
caught
time and
caught
place.
bans. Yeah, I caught bans during the 2020 election. I caught bans on Facebook for jokes like that from the 2016 election.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The FBI arrested Douglas Mackey, known as Ricky Vaughn, on accusations of conspiring to deprive individuals of their right to vote through, quote, coordinated use of social media to spread disinformation.
It took them 4 years, right, to investigate and arrest this guy. What is shit going to look like 4 years from this Trump-Biden election?
Yeah,
Because-
according to 2018 Huffington Post report, Mackey is a prominent pro-Trump online troll with ties to a white nationalist movement.
Oh God, it's always the fucking white nationalists.
God, and you
Yeah.
just literally called him a troll. That
Yeah.
means he
Right.
was joking.
Yeah.
That's
it's-
fucking protected speech.
I mean,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
endless.
Why do they-
Everything the left doesn't like is immediately fucking white nationalism. It's like what I
I
said the
know.
other day
Yep.
on Facebook, where I was like, everything is white nationalism. Literally anything that human beings do at any time ever is white nationalism automatically. Because apparently, according to the left, the whites are in fact the supreme ultimate rulers of all humanity.
Well, you just sound like a racist.
Yeah.
All right. According to the complaint, Mackey and several unnamed co-conspirators sought to stoke confusion about the voting process by claiming on social media that supporters of one of the two major presidential candidates could vote by posting online or texting.
Anybody who falls for that shouldn't fucking be voting. Well, nobody should be, but like,
Right.
seriously, maybe you
They
shouldn't even be
demonstrate why
driving.
voting is a bad idea.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
Thank you,
exactly.
Andrew. That's
And
Mackey
I would have
used
come
and-
around to that.
And what
sooner
I
or
what I
later.
found what I always find funny is, along with that, I remember in the 2016 election, I saw it again before I caught my permanent ban, and this past selection cycle, you always see both sides that'll say, "Hey, Republicans, you're supposed to vote the day after.
Yeah.
Hey, Democrats, you're supposed to vote the day after."
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
saw tons of those. I saw tons of
you
tons
see
of
them
those from Democrats.
every time, and nothing happens there.
Yeah.
It gets worse. I'm just
I,
Mackey used at least 4 Twitter accounts in his targeted misinformation campaigns, with the first reaching over 58,000 followers. The complaint said. One independent analysis at the time ranked his account among the 110 most influential toward the upcoming election, beating out prominent outlets and figures such as NBC News and late night host Stephen Colbert.
At
58,000?
58K? Do they understand how the internet works?
Yeah. 58,000 followers is fucking
All right.
nothing.
Hold on. This is
Especially on
the
Twitter.
quote. This is the quote that sent me over the top, and this is the one that's gonna.
Listen to me say that Anarchy Among Friends has like 4 followers.
Wolf is right at 58,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually Wolf is the whole reason I got the sponsorship deal from Beard Struggle. Was because the followers from Wolf. So.
So, quote, according to the allegations in the indictment, the defendant exploited a social media platform to infringe one of the most basic and sacred rights guaranteed by the Constitution.
Wait.
Hold on. This is a quote from Nicholas McQuaid, acting Assistant Attorney General of the Justice Department's Criminal Division.
What?
Hold on, I'll read that quote again. From Nicholas McQuaid, acting Assistant Attorney General of the Justice Department's Criminal Division. He said, and I quote, according to the allegations in the indictment, the defendant exploited a social media platform to infringe one of the most basic and sacred rights guaranteed by the Constitution, the right to vote.
You keep using that word. I do not think it means what you think it means. You can't. Private citizens can't fucking infringe.
Yeah. And what are you doing right now? Infringing on one of the most basic constitutional rights, the right to free fucking speech.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are they going to start arresting political satirists next? Like the guys who make the comics in like Newsweek and shit? Is that going to be the next stage here?
Depends on who they're satiring for.
Well, yeah, right. I mean,
that's they have to
and
arrest
the
entire crew of SNL because they've been fucking pushing the political narrative for years.
You mean former crew of SNL?
Yeah.
But yeah, because it stopped being funny a long time ago. It needed to die and just didn't.
Yeah.
But although I will always appreciate their George W. Bush and Al Gore debate satires. They were fucking amazing. Yeah. But
although I didn't mind the satires of the Joe Biden and Donald Trump debates either.
Yeah,
that wasn't necessarily terrible.
Yeah.
Exploited
a social media platform
to infringe
one of the most basic and sacred rights guaranteed by the Constitution.
Okay,
motherfucker, do you know what infringing means, Mr. Justice Department? Do you have any fucking idea what that means?
If he didn't make a
Attorney General.
If the dude didn't make and enforce at gunpoint a fucking law making people not vote, he didn't infringe on shit.
He can't. Yep. Private citizens cannot infringe. Only government can infringe on rights. All private citizens can do is be shitty. That's all they can do.
They can try to tell people one thing or another that they can
try to persuade people.
Try to persuade people.
He was doing it maliciously. It's not an infringement of anybody's rights because it is the voters' responsibility, just like the consumers, to be informed.
Yeah,
and if they're
that's the thing.
that's
is no. Remember, this is the 21st century. You being informed is not your responsibility. It's everyone else's responsibility to tell you what to think.
The guy Nicholas McQuaid is former deputy White House counsel and Southern District of New York prosecutor.
Oh, surprise, there we
go.
Yep. Now we get the whole story.
This dude is as tyrannical a pedigree as you're gonna find.
Yep.
It's just holy fucking shit.
He is he is an ex-business partner of Hunter Biden.
Don't forget
that good Lord.
Of course he is. But don't forget that what's her name? I just posted about it the other night. That Russian chick a couple of years ago. They arrested her because she was operating as a he looks like a fucking piece of shit too.
Yeah. He looks like the kind of guy who'd be pissed off at Reddit users for sure.
He looks like the kind of guy who'd be a Reddit user.
He looks like the kind of guy who'd be a 4chan user anonymously and
Twitter After Dark user.
But so I mean,
come on, get on with your point.
No, so you interrupted me and you made me lose my point. The train has been derailed. There was a place that I was going that was going to be insightful.
You were
And
talking about the
French.
Russian chick that you.
Oh yeah,
fucking-
so the Russian chick, they arrested her for being an unregistered
Unregistered lobbyist or something like that, right?
yeah, like an unregistered member of a foreign nation or something, because she came to the United States from Russia, posed in like all these like pro-gun photos, you know, all scantily clad, whatever, and ingratiated herself to the NRA and the Republican Party and everything else, and tried to suggest that maybe they should be more sympathetic to Russian interests and stuff, and like did that. Well, then it turned out she was actually in direct communication with spy handlers in Moscow, and they were directing her activities. And she was arrested for being not for anything, not for espionage, because she wasn't gathering any non-public intelligence or anything.
Right.
She was arrested for being an unregistered foreign government lobbyist.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a person who came from another country who was just trying to convince a bunch of other private citizens that maybe they should do things.
Even if she was here deliberately at the behest of the Russian fucking government, she did not engage with the U.S. government and try to force anything in the U.S. government. She was manipulating private fucking citizens, and that's not illegal.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why the only thing they could charge her with was being an unregistered agent of a foreign government, because that is actually illegal. It is a codified law that if you are an acting agent of a foreign government, you have to register with the United States government when you come to this country that you are acting as such. So like you can be a cultural attaché at a consulate, right? And most major cities have consulates for all these various foreign governments, and you can go around and you can encourage people like, hey, you know what, the Russians are kind of all right, we're peachy keen, and you can do that, and that's okay. But because she didn't tell the United States government that she was doing it at the request of the Russian government, magically this is wrong now.
Right.
And this is the same kind of shit they're pulling with this guy. He was just fucking around. He wasn't actually doing anything. And now they're going to pretend that somehow he's a threat to the very core of democracy because he was joking as a private fucking citizen. He wasn't affecting government policy. He wasn't changing anything.
No,
he wasn't. He wasn't using coercive violence to try to get people to do things.
Even if he was, even if he was absolutely serious, even if he was absolutely serious about what he was saying, even if he truly believed it, or even if he was trolling, he didn't infringe upon anyone's rights.
No, he didn't have any appreciable effect
on behalf of the government.
Yeah, he didn't have the power to infringe on. I mean, at most, like you could argue that, you know, like the KKK when they set up around polling stations and stuff in the 1950s, 1960s.
Okay,
blacks. Okay, you're infringing on
intimidation.
Right.
Yeah, you're directly intimidating people.
Black Panthers did the same thing.
Yeah, the Black Panthers did the same thing, and you know, you can argue that they're fine. They're trying to suppress voters, but trying to argue that one dude with less than 60,000 followers on Twitter, which is kind of nothing, and making jokes.
The last Blockbuster had what, 422,000?
Yeah, over 400. The final Blockbuster in the country has 8 times the follower. Like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's
clearly that man is clearly a dangerous threat to everyone. He's
to democracy.
Yeah, he needs to be locked away, just like the guy with the weird fucking buffalo head that's standing in the Capitol. Clearly a threat to democracy.
Yeah.
All right. I got another one for you. Social media have mercy. FBI laments that deplatforming of extremists makes it harder to spy on Americans.
Hey, we just talked about this last week a little bit.
FBI just admitted that they use your social media to fucking spy on you.
Yeah, hey, look at that. Gosh, I am shocked, I tell you.
Yeah.
Law enforcement is complaining about social media platforms' full frontal assault on American political dissidents' freedom of speech, crying that removing so-called extremists from the internet makes it harder to spy on them. A former
Yeah.
FBI profiler took to NBC to complain that while big tech restricting Americans' ability to freely communicate was all well and good, it was making it harder for the U.S. intelligence apparatus to properly snoop on
Wait.
every aspect
Hold
of
on a
its
second.
life.
Wait.
Hold up. The FBI former FBI profiler took to mass media and said, it's a good thing that big tech is restricting Americans' ability to freely
well and good.
communicate.
He
It's
said
all
it
well and
was
good.
all well and good.
But it's making it
that's
harder
making it
for them
for
to.
us to spy on it.
Yeah. So if you list not, which probably
This guy
shit like that was probably the reason why Andrew's account got reactivated.
This guy's head was switched at birth with his fucking ass. He couldn't be more backwards if he tried.
Right.
I'm sorry, Christopher. I should have waited until you were done drinking before.
No, you're good. You're good.
So, yeah. FBI alum Clint Van Zant complained that a 70-year-old man involved in the raid on the Capitol earlier this month was totally unknown to the Bureau, showing up with a truck full of Molotov cocktails, a rifle, and some, quote, improvised grenades, unheralded by any sort of presence on social media.
Well, so yeah, I guarantee you, Chris, I completely agree with you. This guy is the reason.
Before a social media presence is fucking required. Like there's in 1984.
There are companies. I have had conversations with people in my industry that complained that when applying for positions with their resume, the companies asked for their social medias.
Mine did. When I applied, and I work for a company that is not Fortune 500 in the US. They are connected to the largest company in South America that exists.
Right.
But when I applied, that was in the application was your social media handles. And like on the online part, you had to copy paste your links to all of your social media profiles, and they actively monitor them. And if you think that they don't, let me tell story time. Let me tell you a story. When I worked for CenturyLink, because I don't work for them anymore, so they can suck my fucking dick. When I worked for CenturyLink, they eliminated my entire department out of nowhere after I had worked basically doing the job of 3 people simultaneously.
Right.
With no time off, no sleep. I was working extra hours. I was doing tons of extra work, and I was getting no extra pay. But I was doing it because I was doing it because I was promised. I'm just setting up. So I was doing this because I was promised that eventually, I'd get promoted and I'd be at a higher level. Instead, they eliminated my position. And when I protested and said, well, I should still get a promotion anyway, fuck you, they were like, yeah, about that. No. And that was their response. And every time I tried to argue, they wanted to ignore me. So I went on Facebook and I was basically like, I literally called them, and I quote, a bunch of liars and thieves. And just tore into them. And I mentioned the name CenturyLink. Like they weren't tagged. None of that. Just said the word CenturyLink on my profile. The next day when I went into work, I was pulled into my boss's office and told that I was being suspended for 3 days pending termination because of what I'd said on social media on my page, that I didn't tag anybody in, and it was set to friends only. But because of the word CenturyLink was there, they were able to see it anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is terrifying.
Yeah. Lonnie Kaufman, the man in question, had no criminal record or ties to any extremist group, but was, quote, struggling financially and fixated on right-wing views. Van Zant explained, adding, in all seriousness, that the senior citizen was the sort of threat that keeps FBI agents, quote, up at night.
Because he was right-wing and struggling financially.
No, because he was not monitored.
Right.
Yeah.
So if I get off of...
So I wonder if
get
those
off
guys...
of all social media.
Oh, you're fucked anyway, Andrew. Doesn't matter where you're at.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying. So, like with Chris being kicked off of social media, and if I get off of it, will we keep people in the FBI up at night? because that might be a
yeah.
reason.
Well,
to get
I
off the
kept
social
two
media.
of them up 2 nights in a row. I mean, they were
Right.
watching.
Well, they shouldn't have been sitting in front of your house.
Yeah, leaving aside the laughable image of the U.S. deep pocket intelligence apparatus being thwarted by a 70-year-old man from Alabama, who it's worth pointing out is not known to have even entered the Capitol building. FBI agents like Van Zandt and their local counterparts in small town sheriff's office are really worried that if social media keeps purging Trump supporters and other undesirables, these platforms will create an unstoppable army of Lonnie Kaufmans.
All I can think of-
Untermensch. Wir
all I
sind
can-
die Untermensch.
Hold on.
No, all
Quote-
I can think of is the old man from SpongeBob, and they like, where are you from, old man? What are you planning on doing? My children go to school. And
Yeah.
I
I love the young people.
love the young
How many
people.
times we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah.
Quote, the purging of people with radical views from popular social media platforms, which has escalated in recent weeks, deprives
shit.
investigators of a crucial tool in tracking people who might move about the continuum of ideation and action.
If you think
That is a quote.
say-
That is a quote from the former agent.
if
That
you
is
think that
a
when I
literal
say
fucking
that the-
admission of
yeah, that
everything
the-
they've been denying for so long.
if you
Yeah.
think that when I got my account back, like after I was completely removed, my account was done and magically came back. If you think that when I said it's only so that the feds can monitor me more easily, that I was kidding,
Yeah,
I
no.
am
Yes.
not.
Yes. In plain English, the profiler lamented that mass deplatforming prevents FBI agents from both spying on the majority of Americans whom considered to be domestic terrorism threats and entrapping wannabe criminals by posing as terrorists, militia members, and other lawbreakers.
Yeah,
You know,
so-
and most of us, we've talked about this kind of stuff before on the channel, and this is news to the vast majority of people. It's kind of funny that it's on RT where most Americans will never see it.
Yes.
Um,
An op-ed
but-
on RT also.
right. And
It's a good one.
I have a friend that works in your neighborhood, I'll say, Derica.
yeah.
And he's been feeding me information for a while as to, you know, the government doesn't quite have access to this or that yet, and
Mhm.
Allegedly been
Yeah.
made.
Not to his knowledge, but
No.
compartmentalization is a thing.
right. But you know, every time he tells me that, it's like he tells me something new. It's like, you know, I'm starting to think it don't matter where the hell you are, because we all know
And-
it doesn't.
And I've told you guys before that I can say with a certain level of authority here, the only thing federal intelligence agencies want to see come across their desk these days, the only thing they're fucking focusing on, the only thing they consider a threat right now is the fucking right wing in America, white and alleged white supremacists. That's the only thing they fucking want to
Yeah,
hear
they've
about.
been stacking the deck for years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They've been building it and building it and building it. And I remember, you know, back in the days of like when you know, the Oklahoma City bombing happened and, you know, McVeigh was arrested and stuff. And like the idea of domestic terrorism was this sudden thing that no one had considered and no one had talked about. And now it's one of these like buzzwords that you keep hearing discussed and you keep seeing talked about. And that started before the election. That started before the most recent election. And it was a setup for what the Biden administration is going to do. And what they're going to do, I guarantee you, is come after people like me. They're going to come after people like you. They're going to come after us because we're domestic terrorists, or we're sponsoring, or we're helping, or we're encouraging, or advocating
Supporting.
domestic terrorism.
Yeah, because
Yep.
we're outside the box.
Yeah, and
Right.
that is going to be what they're going to do. And they've been setting it up and setting it up and setting it up where when they finally do it,
Anybody who opposes them can be eliminated as a domestic terrorism.
yeah,
threat.
and that's, you know, and the funny thing is it was the Republicans who set all that up, right? Under George W. Bush,
Yep.
the Republicans
Yep.
set
Patriot
that
Act.
up.
Patriot
Without-
Act, NDAA.
Yeah, without that stuff, they don't have the power. And then that happened, and at the time, a whole lot of people
A whole
were
bunch of us were saying, if you give this power to the federal government, it'll be used against you someday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
we were
what
all
is
saying it.
happening now? You
Yeah, I mean-
give your allies this power, and
Not
then your
to-
enemies take that position.
Exactly.
And this is okay. This is happening at a time when we're in record national debt, record deficit. The dollar is weakening.
Small businesses have closed.
Small businesses
right
are
and
closing. I'm
Yeah.
To say
telling
you
gosh,
can't
I
at this
know.
point you
I
can't
still
even say
believe-
the dollar's weakening. It's on
I
the
st-
brink of
yeah.
collapse.
It's
I still,
virtually
I still
valueless.
believe that economically this is Cloud Piven,
one.
and you
Mhm.
can't have that.
Yep.
You can't have that economic shift without a large cultural shift.
And didn't
while-
we just
while-
talk about the Great Reset not that long
Well, yeah,
ago?
see, and we
Cloud-
did,
Yep.
and that's
Reset is Cloud Piven on steroids.
and that's the other
Yeah.
thing.
Mhm.
See, and that's the other thing that the Reddit thing threatened is
Yep.
because if they implode stuff too early and in a
Mhm.
way that the government can't
Yeah.
control,
Out of order.
now they
Yep.
take away their opportunity to do it the way they wanted, and now they can't do the Great Reset because everything is imploded before they were ready, before things were set up, and they didn't implode in a controlled way that they could then justify what they want to
Right.
do in response. So when these Redditors are threatening that, they
Yeah.
are threatening far more than I think any of them
Yeah.
even realize
Because
now.
it's going to implode, and the implosion can either benefit the average small people, citizens like us, or it can benefit the elites who have until now controlled every fucking thing. And they know that those are the only two ways this is going to go down. One of them, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser, and they fucking know that.
Yep. And they are terrified that what's going to happen because people are suddenly discovering their own power.
Yes.
They are terrified that what's going to happen is all of the sudden they are going to have no power over the collapse, which means that they are also going to fall victim to it.
Yep.
So, all right,
And
we
their
got about
plan was to not.
45 minutes left. So let's power through these few and
Yeah.
all right.
35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys remember Ryan Whitaker out of Phoenix area? He's the guy.
Yep.
Cops banged on his door late at night.
Yep.
He answered the door with a gun in his hand.
And then they executed him.
And then he was shot in the back. Right.
Right.
County attorney will not criminally charge Phoenix police officer who killed Ryan Whitaker.
Of course not.
Phoenix officer who killed 40-year-old man in his apartment won't face criminal charges. Mariposa County attorney Alistair Adele announced. Ryan Whitaker, who was shot in the back by Officer Jeff Koch in May in an apartment complex after a neighbor called to report a couple arguing and making a lot of noise. Police on-body camera footage shows Whitaker seemingly to comply with police officers, but one of the officers shot a little more than 2 seconds after Whitaker answered the door with a gun. Cook and his partner, Officer John Frigwell, responded to 911 calls made by the neighbor, blah, blah, blah. So it's a terrible result, etc., etc. Yeah, they're not charging the cop with the murder.
Of course not.
Of course they're not.
Even though it
No.
was straight out fucking murder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't this the same area of Arizona where Daniel Shaver was killed?
The next city over, yeah.
Next city over.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
same county,
Shaver
yeah.
was, same county.
That's what I
Daniel
mean.
Shaver
It's
was
same
in Mesa.
county. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same freaking DA structure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
That's
it's a different DA, but
Mike,
same.
Well, it's the
even
same.
so,
It's still
the same
Maricopa, right?
structure. It's still
Yeah,
Maricopa
same
County.
Maricopa.
Yeah,
So, I
and
mean-
Maricopa, don't forget, is the legendary land formerly
Joe
of
Arpaio.
Joe Arpaio. Yeah, and that fucking authoritarian psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. On that note, of was authoritarian psychopaths, Arizona prosecutors pretend ACAB, which we all know what that stands for,
Yep.
Yep.
is gang lingo to hit protesters with felony gang charges.
What the?
So
So fun story
having
about
an
ACAB.
opinion that all cops are bastards, I'll just come right out and fucking say it, is now can be linked to gang lingo, and now we're going to completely restrict your ability to, do fucking anything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Once again, free
I
speech.
actually, yeah. So I brought up Arya D'Amato to
Yep.
my boss because I thought it was fucking hilarious, and it was. I'm still sad that she lost. That would have been great.
That would have been
But
glorious.
Everybody's sad she lost except her.
Yeah, I
Because
well,
she,
yeah.
she didn't want the job in the first
I know
place.
she didn't want the job anyway. I get that, but it was fucking glorious and stuff. And my boss, is very left leaning normally, but like when I brought it up and I explained what was it, she thought it was goddamn hysterical. But when I mentioned that like she had the posters that had ACAB, she actually had no idea what that meant.
Really?
Like she actually didn't know. She's like, ACAB.
The more time goes on, the harder I find it to relate to normies. Because they are missing such huge chunks of our little, culture, the anarchist community.
I mean,
ACAB isn't,
but we see everything. We
Well,
see everything. We see everything on both sides.
Like we talk about anarchists having, tunnel vision, things like that.
Yeah.
Normies are even worse. Like they have their little scope of comfort, and anything outside of that scope they ignore or dismiss.
Right.
But I mean, ACAB that's actually been around for like 70 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All cats are beautiful.
No.
Right.
But I mean, that's actually a really, really old acronym that has always meant what it means, and it's actually been around for like 70 years. Seriously, Google it. It's been around for like 70
when
years.
You say 70 years, I'm thinking 1930.
Yeah, not 1930.
I know.
1950.
1950.
No, shut up.
Yeah, okay. October 17th, about 20 people gathered downtown Phoenix March for justice for victims of police violence. The group was made up of mostly young people, including 3 17-year-olds, an honor student from Arizona State University. I got a message in a block for the
Sounds
article.
like a real gang member.
Honor student and a Harvard student. The group marched down the street in Phoenix chanting Black Lives Matter. Some of the protesters moved traffic cones and signs in the middle of the street. Some carried umbrellas, which protesters have used to protect themselves from tear gas and projectiles.
The noted street gang violence at Harvard University.
Yeah. Eventually, police officers donning helmets and bulletproof vests closed in on the group. With a weapon drawn, an officer told them to get on the ground, which they did. Police ripped away the umbrella. Dozens of officers surrounded the protesters. Video footage shows. Police handcuffed the kneeling protesters, yanked them to their feet, and put them in back of cruisers. Police used pepper spray bullets on at least one of the protesters. This is only part of the disproportionate response. The major damage came after the arrest when prosecutors added felony gang charges. The street gang charges are based on the group's common use of the phrase "all cops are bastards" and the fact that they all dressed in black and carry umbrellas. Police testified that the group used the umbrellas to attack the officers and conceal their identities.
We're Mary Poppins, y'all.
And didn't even have to use my
activities.
Umbrella. Today was a good day.
Okay. In essence, prosecutors are claiming that ACAB is a gang. The acronym used by plenty of people who don't know or associate with each other is being presented as evidence of gang affiliation or activity.
Wait.
Depending on what specific.
Wait a second.
Hold on. Depending on what specifics accompany the charges, whether it's participation or merely assisting, these sentence enhancements can add up to 10 years in prison.
Sorry, you said sentence enhancements. I got SpongeBob in my head. The sentence enhancers episode. Sorry.
All right.
No, for me, it's wait a second. So these are potentially groups of people, as they admit, who don't normally interact with one another. They don't know each other, but yet they're going to somehow frame this as gang-related activity.
Gang-related activity.
They weren't even or the ones.
That's like the opposite
doing violence.
of the definition of a fucking gang.
You know what else the other funny thing is that this is not the first time that this kind of thing has been done. They did this in Ohio a number of years ago at Kent State University.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Yeah, that like I literally as
college students again.
Yeah, as everybody was talking, like I had the Crosby, Stills and Nash song playing like in my head, that this is the exact same crap they use to justify shooting a bunch of fucking college students, where they were like, oh, it was an organized mob, it was an organized gang.
Oh my god, the term rocks.
The term organized mob is such a misnomer. If you're a mob, you're not organized.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like that's the same crap they used during the Vietnam War protests against them. That you're gangs, you're these violent organized mobs, and we are.
You know what the most
justified.
fucked up part is the protesting college students back in Vietnam. Who are they now?
They're the ones calling the shots.
They're the boomers.
Yep, they're the fucking boomer politicians that are so authoritarian that they're stripping away human rights right and left.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, and that's the thing is, like, remember, like, even ironically, like, I mean, you remember John McCain back then, right? He was a prisoner of war and was all defiant, and like he famously, there's that picture of him on the cover of Time magazine.
Yeah, the whole
fingers are airbrushed out.
He wouldn't leave his men even though he was freed, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, right. And then look at what he turned into, and look at what they're all turning into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as they had power, they went from fuck people in power, don't trust these people, don't trust politicians, don't trust Lying Johnson, don't trust any of this shit. They went from that to, well, authority is right always. Authority should be respected. You need to respect all this stuff. You need to bow before authority. You need to bow before the police. They completely flipped and turned into their goddamn parents. Because
they thought they could change it from the inside, and it changed them instead.
Right.
It always fucking
nothing that anybody else says they're going to
what's
change from the inside ever fucking change.
What's if you can't beat them, join them?
Yeah. And that's, you know, when sometimes you have to look at yourself and go, when in Rome. Then that's kind of what they did, is they went, well, I'm in Rome, I guess I might as well act like a Roman.
Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts, absolutely.
Yep, that is Lord Acton. Absolutely. And if you think it's Machiavelli, you may be a lawyer who was involved in the largest mob trial in history. But also, you know, fun fact, that specific quote wasn't even originally coined by Lord Acton. It's actually a much, much older quote that dates clear back to Rome itself. Yeah. Like, people have known for a very long time that if you give power to people,
I always thought that quote was like Plato or Aristotle or somebody like that.
I mean, it's a little bit after that, but it's the origins of it kind of start in Rome, and with the Roman Senate as people like Caesar begin to try and take away the idea that the Senate is power.
Didn't they throw dissenters to lions?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
for the entertainment of the bloodthirsty masses.
Yeah, the blood. As long as the masses got their blood and
they're bred in circuses.
Yeah, and they're bred and stuff, and they got their spectacles. They didn't care what you were doing. But if you failed to give them their bread, fun fact, boy, did they start to become a problem.
Yeah, Marie Antoinette learned that one, didn't she?
All right.
I don't think she ever actually said "let them eat cake," but she said.
No, she did, but it was a different. Like, cake meant something different. There's something lost in translation. It was just like,
well,
not what people think it was.
Cake in.
Anyways, we're off track.
We're always off track.
We're not really off track. We're staying on topic.
Our train is 4-wheel drive.
It is just
it goes wherever. Like
the Russians
we just cross the tracks once in a while.
The Russians had land trains. They actually still exist. You can totally see pictures of them.
See what I'm saying? It goes wherever else. Our train doesn't even have a driver.
Andrew goes, squirrel.
Man, the problem is when you know enough about enough stuff, like everything could be brought up with something else, and you can connect the entire history of the world very, very easily, and it starts to.
What do you know about Terminators?
Oh, I know a lot about Terminators.
What do you know about Skynet?
Unfortunately, quite a bit, because Skynet has increasingly been a thing that's fucking happening.
Oh God, this article, man.
How do we know you're not a robot?
And Nick, this goes out to Nick Irwin. No, kicking Boston Dynamics robots is not a fucking good idea.
That's what I said about that. What I quoted on that, I shared the link on the article. You guys remember the hitchhike bot, right?
Yeah.
Right? They makes it to the city of brotherly love
and they got fucking beheaded.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh,
All
you
right.
know,
Yeah, and
Well,
then
that's like
fucking the AI
the police
that
robot
had to get taken
Lingo.
down because it became a racist Nazi
Racist?
within like
Yeah.
24 hours.
I want to point
Okay.
out though. I want to point out here before we start on this the Roko's basilisk. So
Okay.
a basilisk is a thought experiment that perpetuates itself. Dangerous.
Okay.
So Roko's basilisk is this idea that if one day we were going to create an artificial intelligence that would then attack anyone who didn't help contribute to it coming into existence, we would then have an incentive for ourselves to work towards creating that horrific genocidal intelligence.
Because you assume somebody will sooner or later and you want to be part of it.
Right. And
Right.
it will go after anybody who hasn't helped. So
yeah, well, all
therefore-
of human culture has contributed up to this point. So
well, right, but if you actively try and prevent it, then therefore you're an enemy of it, or if you just haven't contributed.
right.
So therefore, if you have the capability to help contribute, are you not morally then inclined to help make it a reality? But if you don't help it become a reality,
Yeah, it's,
then it can't
All right.
actually.
Yeah.
So that's the
Yeah.
Kind
thing.
of a paradox.
If super intelligence makes all of its choices based on which is best suited for the achievement of human good, it will never stop pursuing the goal because things could always be a bit better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds like a Democrat.
Yeah. Since no predefined way to achieve the goal as nubious as American good, the AI may end up making decisions that seem counterintuitive to the goal for a human perspective, such as killing all humans that didn't help bring into the existence as soon as possible. Holy shit.
Right.
Did anybody
Yeah.
not just have
Oh,
Bender pop into
see?
your mind?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All
But
right.
you
This
see,
is
so you see my
That's my
point.
sock
This
account
is
on
why.
Facebook, Bender Rodriguez.
But this is why Roko's basilisk, and Roko, by the way, is the name of a Reddit user who simply posited this on a Reddit board that is all about thought experiments. Roko's basilisk. This is why this came to mind, is because this.
all right.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This is an article on Gizmodo, and like all articles that we talk about, they're linked in the description below. Congressional panel. We have a moral imperative to at least consider building a Terminator.
Because what could possibly fucking go wrong?
What could possibly go right? All right. The National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence, a congressional advisory board helmed by former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, has mulled
Because of
whether or
course.
not the U.S. should deploy artificial intelligence autonomous weapons, and after taking into account the numerous reasons it would be a terrible idea, decided that at least toying around with the idea is, quote, a moral imperative.
So he says it's a bad idea. Don't fucking do this.
But we should
at least consider it.
The two-day panel, which was chaired by Schmidt and vice chairman of former Deputy Secretary of Defense Robert Work, opposed the U.S. joining an international coalition of at least 30 countries that have urged a treaty to ban the development or use of autonomous weapons. Instead, the panel advised Congress to keep their options open.
Oh God.
I mean, the problem is the biggest problem is, as somebody who has fought in a war, several wars, I see the value of being able to send robots to do a man's job.
Yeah, because nobody likes flagship caskets.
Right.
Right.
I can replace equipment. I can't replace men. I mean, it's the same reason why you build tanks to be survivable, not necessarily impervious. You want people to be able to get out when they get knocked out and run away, because I can replace a vehicle, but I can't replace men. However, the thing that has always occurred to me is, if you have a war that was ever exclusively fought by a bunch of robots, so robots from one country, robots from another, it's meaningless.
Yeah.
It's a meaningless
Right.
expenditure
Right.
of resources.
And then it's just whoever's richest wins.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
and not
this
only
article.
that, but my big concern is what has happened to all other military tech? Everything that the military has downsized or gotten rid of, where did it all go? To police organizations.
So, all right.
And turned against American fucking citizens.
Yeah. Critics have long pointed to the inherent dangers of AI-controlled weaponry, which include everything from glitchy or trigger-happy systems kicking off violent skirmishes that could lead into bigger conflicts, the possibility such systems could be acquired by terrorists or subverted against their masters by hackers, and the robot tanks and drones could decide to massacre helpless victims. He campaigned to stop killer robots list, the campaign to stop killer robots list dozens of international organizations as members and warns that allowing machines to decide, quote, who lives and dies without further human intervention would cross a moral threshold.
Yeah, like the final fucking moral threshold.
I mean,
that's
and
the final fucking threshold.
One more paragraph.
Right.
One more paragraph. The congressional panel instead concluded that killer robots potentially being really, really good at killing is actually the reason to not rule them out.
What?
The logic goes that perhaps autonomous weaponry could be much more discriminating in their target selection and thus somehow kill fewer people. The panel suggested that anti-proliferation treaty may also be more realistic than an outright ban.
They did a entire massive comic book arc about this, as well as a movie called Age of Ultron.
The only thing the panel ruled out entirely is the possibility of giving AI any involvement in the decision of whether or not to launch a nuclear weapon.
So,
look, if you can't trust it with nuke, you can't trust it with human fucking lives.
So here's the thing: is there are movies, right? Let me run through a few. 2001: A Space Odyssey, the Terminator series, the entire Terminator series, Avengers: Age of Ultron, Ex Machina, The Demon Seed, Blade Runner, iRobot, Child's Play, Upgrade, Star Trek: The Motion Picture. People forget about with feature. War Games, Tron,
War Games,
Wall-E, Transcendence. You have a ton of films that explain why putting an AI in charge of killing is a really, really fucking bad idea.
Here's another one for you. Maybe a lot of people probably haven't watched it yet, but it's called Outside the Wire.
Yeah, Outside the Wire. I've seen previews for it on Netflix.
I strongly recommend the movie. It's a very good movie, but it's definitely a warning of, hey, don't fucking do this.
Yeah.
Well, look at Blade Runner, right? Blade Runner, the
I was gonna say Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the replicants, and they're. I mean, and that's really kind of that. The focus of that film is really more about the moral implications of what you're doing to the AIs than what the AIs are doing. But
the Matrix, the fucking Matrix.
Yeah, the Matrix. There's so much that says why you don't do this, why this is a bad idea. There's so many films where an AI has the ability to wipe out the human race and goes, well, in order to save life, the logical step is to wipe out the human race.
Okay, one more step. The panel's recommendations include integrating AI into intelligence gathering, investing $32 billion in federal money into AI research, and creating a special unit focused on digital issues akin to the Army's medical corps.
All of those are terrible ideas.
Can you imagine? You imagine? So I'm immediately I'm writing a book in my head, or a film where you have an AI whose purpose is not to fight anything, but to gather intelligence.
Yeah.
Gosh, it's Eagle Eye. Oh, look at that. The film
it's fucking
Eagle Eye.
Minority
Report. Done. It's Minority Report. It's been done. All right.
This is the warning, people.
There have been so many warnings about what is going to happen. What is going to happen.
That's when you're sitting around eating the last can of beans and you're going, fuck, I missed the internet, and some guy doodles down a little meme for you in the dust, and it's a picture of us, and it says "Anarchy Among Friends fucking told you."
Yep.
Anarchy Among Friends fucking told you.
Yeah,
Yep.
we told you. It's the reality is you don't want AI in charge of this. You don't want something that you can't reason with. People convince themselves. They convince themselves constantly throughout history. People have convinced themselves, I can reason with these people. I can control these people. I can make them see. And sci-fi, since the earliest days, since Jules fucking Verne, right? Since Metropolis. If you haven't watched or read Metropolis, you need to fucking do that right now. Go do it.
But the dangers of autonomous technology.
Yeah, why AI is a bad idea. Don't forget in the Ms. Marvel comics that were then turned into a film, it was the great artificial intelligence that runs the Kree society that are generally considered absolutely evil. It's because of the great artificial intelligence that runs them. Like, this is the danger, is that if you what you are doing when you put the idea of life or death in the hands of an artificial intelligence is ultimately you are boiling it down. Yeah, you're boiling it down to logic.
Right.
And logic without emotion is cruelty.
And not just logic, but logic that's subject only to the input of its creators. There's no, you can't give it new input. You can't tell it a new story. You can't explain things from your perspective. It's subject only to the input that it was given by your enemies.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like, you got to remember, like, that was always one of those things, like Star Trek. This is where sci-fi, right, science fiction becomes important, and is increasingly important in our world, because we're approaching this sci-fi world, a world that for a huge chunk of human history where people wrote about sci-fi stuff was definitely the future. I mean, look at how many things took place in fucking Johnny Mnemonic, which is not that old.
Yeah.
That Keanu Reeves stars in. It takes place in 2021.
So, all right.
I will say that movie is probably one of the most underrated sci-fi films I've ever seen.
It's so good. It's so good. But my point is we are living in that world. So what you need to do is you need to start taking the warnings from all of those sci-fi films seriously.
Jason keeps trying to break in. Shut up, Andrew.
AI is dystopian as fuck. That's what it comes down to.
That's the bottom line.
So
it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
Equally as terrifying, or I don't know if it's equally as terrifying. Maybe more terrifying for some people. But China is ramping up its efforts to neutralize the coronavirus as new outbreaks challenges already stringent pandemic strategy with another weapon added to an arsenal of border curbs, mass testing, and hard lockdowns. Anal swabs.
Wait a minute. This isn't coronavirus testing. This is anal sex.
While there's no nationwide policy on use of the new technique, some residents in China's northern regions, where more than 1,700 cases have emerged, have been subjected to swabs with little warning. The method involves the insertion of a saline-soaked cotton swab about 2 to 3 centimeters into the anus.
Little warning? What does that mean?
If you're putting something in my butt, I'm gonna need some
are they sneaking up behind people with ether-soaked rags?
Hold on. More than 1,000 school children and teachers in Beijing were given the anal, throat, and nose swabs last week. I hope it was not in that order. Along with separate antibody tests after one asymptomatic virus case was detected on campus.
I'm just saying, like, that's I've definitely seen porn like that. It's
and these things make me wonder at the mindset of the Chinese people that this shit just Can I do one more paragraph? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
On Monday, passengers on a flight from Changchun the capital city of Julin province, to Beijing were told to disembark after officials discovered that someone from the area was deemed as high risk for virus transmission was on board. They were then brought to a hotel where health workers then took nose and anal swabs.
They took them to a hotel to anal swab.
So they passed.
Normally you got to pay extra for that kind of action.
So a passenger who asked to be identified only by his last name, Wang. I'm not making this up. There it is, right there. It's on Bloomberg. There's the last name.
My Wang needs to anal swab you. It'll be okay. Don't worry. Just relax. Let it happen.
Some people arriving in Beijing to undertake anal swabs as well, with one traveler who came from Hong Kong a few weeks ago telling Bloomberg News she was told to do the swab herself while in mandatory hotel quarantine.
Okay, some of us were making and passing around memes 10 months ago, making fun of the sheep, saying if they told you to stick a finger in your ass to stay safe from this virus, you would fucking do it. And what happened? They're telling people to stick things in their ass.
We did not want to be right. We didn't. That was supposed to be a joke.
It was a joke. We didn't want to be right. God damn it.
I mean, are you kidding? So let me introduce you to Investigator Huang. And Investigator Wang wants to anal swab you.
Yeah.
At the hotel.
Use of the new
hotel.
Yeah.
Use of the new detection technique is based on research that traces of the virus found in the anus can last longer than in the respiratory tract.
Okay, wait, but for somebody to research it, somebody has to have thought of it first as a possible, solution to a problem. Who thinks stick it up people's butts? Like whose mind goes there? What kind of person that's their first idea? I'm gonna look in your
Wang.
It's
you know what? I tell me that this doesn't sound.
Who knows?
Tell me this doesn't sound like a 4chan troll. You tell me this doesn't sound like a 4chan troll entirely. So he's like, you need to look in people's butts. Yeah, do that. You know what? And just to be sure that you're doing it right, film it. Yeah, send it to me. Like
it's like teenage boys wrote the script for the last year and a half.
The part that still has me concerned is that they have been subject to the swabs with little warning.
The ether bunny strikes again.
Do they have Shrek
drop
doing
that dollar? Is that your
You
dollar?
guys heard that urban legend in the military, right? It goes around every fucking military base. The ether bunny. Yeah.
Is that your dollar?
You know what? It's Shrek. All right, it's Shrek. They're like he's showing up. Shrek is love. Shrek is life. And there's we're calling the swab Shrek. That's what it is.
If you took Huang's mask off, it's probably Joe Biden.
Yeah.
It's just like as soon as you
well, it was students that they swabbed, right?
More than 1,000 school children and teachers.
School children.
See, it's Joe Biden. Yeah,
it's Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
As well as air travelers.
And like he's doing
when they say little warning or notice, they mean the parents weren't given a chance.
Oh, it's China. The government owns the children.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in China, the government can literally ass rape your children.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep. And then
we're going to sodomize you at this hotel room.
Yes.
The United States isn't far off. Remember, there's been arguments in the United States repeatedly for being able to vaccinate children. Well, to vaccinate children without parents' agreement.
Washington D.C. tried to pass that bill.
Yeah, to do pap smears to children without parental consent. It is not a big leap from pap smears to children without parental consent to anal swabs of children without parental consent. That is
right.
That is
They're
a
both penetrating
centimeter change in what you're doing.
An inch is 2.54 centimeters. Right. Just so we're putting that out there.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So-
it's still
taint. It's a taint away.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a lot to go from one to the other. We're right there. We're right there. And with as much as people want to be like, oh, look at China, people in America want to be like, look at China and their lack of freedoms and all these people that are walking funny because they've gotten these anal swabs.
Fucking happening here. Like
We're not that far away from it happening here.
Yeah, we're right fucking there. And the worst goddamn part is where the Chinese will complain about it if they can. If they can find an outlet that the government won't find out about, they will complain about it. American people will fucking proudly post pictures of them walking fucking funny with their fucking anal swab having been done, going, I got my anal swab today.
God, I hope they get a sticker.
know.
I can't wait for those to happen. So you'll get fucking stickers that says I got anal swab today, and you can just.
I see people, like people I went to high school with and stuff, like fucking praising the Lord on social media that they got their fucking COVID vaccine and shit like that. Like these people just, it's
blind.
That's what I was going. Is you're gonna see these people. These people are gonna be fucking proud that their bodies were fucking violated like hell, just because they have been misled by this security.
Well, no, not just misled. It is a virtue signal now.
Yeah,
it is considered like social credit.
Yeah,
and social currency in a way. To be like, yes, look, I follow the rules. Yes, look, I'm wearing 3 masks. Yes, I got anal swab. Yes, I voted, for my oppressor today.
For the record, if I ever end up having to go back in and get another COVID test done, even though I'm only a couple of weeks past having had it,
ask for an anal
I am
swab.
going to stick my ass right out the window and say, "Here you go, take the damn test."
I will
and take a selfie.
If you film it,
take a selfie while they're doing it.
If you film it, I will put it up on our Odyssey account.
I have
where
been,
it will be where it will be on the blockchain and never to be able to be taken down.
Yeah. I have been tested for COVID 3 times. I only tested positive the once, and that was kind of a formality because by then I'd already lost my sense of taste and smell, so I knew what direction that was going.
And that's pretty much where I was too when I had mine.
Yeah, so I've been tested. Yeah, if I had to get tested again, like if they required an additional test, I want the anal fucking swab. All right, I'm at least gonna enjoy the fucking test rather than you trying to stab my fucking brain.
Yeah.
All right, motherfucker.
And I haven't been tested. I've never been tested for it. I've been sick a couple times this year, but like I said, I deal with it with vitamins and rest and fluids and,
Yeah, even if I was sick, I wouldn't go to get tested anyway.
And I haven't gone to get tested for any of it. And
the only reason I did go get tested is because my employer said, go get tested.
That's why. That's why my brother got tested too.
Yeah,
I was required.
Well, I'm lucky. I don't have a job.
All right. Let's jump.
I mean, the sad thing is though, is that is the reality, right? Like when you look at the world around you on a day-to-day basis, you need to face the reality that the majority of people that you're looking at are people who would happily bend over. Literally
now. We've said this before metaphorically, but
now we're
literally
talking
now.
Yeah, literally bend over, drop trowel, and take it in the ass because government said so.
Yeah,
the
majority
majority
it's very
of
literal
people,
now.
And then brag about it.
Yeah, and then they would brag about it. I feel, and the sad thing is like as an anarchist,
but we're the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah,
and
you feel right. You feel a bit like fucking Morpheus from the Matrix, where you're like, hey, look, you need to realize when you convert an anarchist finally, you're like, hey, the majority of these people are not ready to be unplugged. They are still dependent on the system. They are not willing to let go. You need to realize that
one
they
of the
are
hardest things. That is one of the hardest things to let go of too. Is the desire to like drag people out of Plato's cave by their fucking hair if necessary.
And I have a friend that
chase them out with an anal swab.
Yeah.
You know, and along those same
Oxygen
lines,
overflow.
I have a success story in that regard. I have a friend who was all gung ho for Lord Dampnut running into the 2020 election, and
We had those starts.
We've had a record number of snorts.
I know this.
and but you know, she was
it's
all
like the
gung ho
snort, it's
for
like the
for
snort
him,
apocalypse.
and then
Well,
Sounds
it
like
was that
sounds like
fucking
the anal
James
swab
stuff.
coming out.
it was the billboard story.
there was like 5 in that first three minutes of
It
that
was
story.
fucking
Of that story, I know.
But
I know.
but she was all gung ho, and she was adamant that the courts were gonna step in and investigate and yada yada yada. And when nothing happened, and when Biden got inaugurated, her entire view of the system, all of her
Well,
faith
yeah,
in that system just came crashing down. And I haven't heard
Yeah.
from her since.
Well, yeah,
There's
that's,
she
like
doesn't
this
know how to deal with it.
massive disillusionment happening right
Yeah.
now.
It's
She doesn't know how to
that's
deal
that's
with it.
what that's what Ben Stone says. He's in his book, Sedition, Subversion, Sabotage. He says that the state is the great recruiter of anarchists, right? Like,
yeah, you know,
us ourselves, like we can talk to 100 people a day, 1,000
You
people
can
a day.
lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
60,000 or it's like 58,000 people on Wolf, that I can
Yeah.
address in a day. But I cannot get people to open their eyes as fast or as efficiently as the actions of the state.
Man,
Right.
are you kidding? Jason, you and I we're both admins on there. I mean, you're the founder, but I'm an
too.
admin too.
I'm still an admin.
You're FF1 on there.
I probably
Yeah,
would
Fair
have gotten
Force One,
invited if
that's
I
me.
hadn't gotten
Yeah.
banned. But
Yeah.
I remember years ago ogling your cleavage. Anyway,
Mine, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, Jason's. I was ogling.
Yeah.
Hey, come
Yeah.
on. That's anyway.
Andrew spent too long in the army.
Yeah.
It's things start to. Hey man, what
Army
happened?
I was in
dreams
the
of
Navy.
beauty.
You don't have to explain.
Yeah,
that.
I know.
6 months into a cold winter. I mean, it's just
You get lonely, you get bored. All right, leave it alone. Anyway,
you've seen one
No,
set of
it's-
boobs, you want to see the rest of them.
the thing is what I've noticed from posting on there too is that no matter how much we post anarchist stuff, no matter how much that happens, there are still tons of people who will defend the state endlessly, and they watch this anti-government stuff, they watch all of this stuff get exposed, and their response every single day after day, the same people is, well, but this was a bad apple, but this is an exception, but they're still fucking convinced. When you show them 100,000 examples of why the state is bad, they'll say, yeah, but I mean, it could be good.
Yeah.
And that is their fucking response. It doesn't matter how many times you throw.
Because it's such a
Hold on.
comforting, it's such a comforting illusion that there's somebody more responsible than they are.
Right.
This is, you guys are spitting out the segues of all segues to our last article.
Okay, bring it on.
All right. The Vermont school teacher who, you guys remember Bernie's mittens from the inauguration?
Mitten Bernie.
The Vermont school teacher who made Bernie Sanders mittens, featured in the most recent viral memes, said that she stopped making them after the federal government taxed her too much.
Yeah.
I love this fucking article. I love this story
quote,
so much.
People have been contacting me thinking that they could get the mittens, and actually they can't. I don't have any more, and I don't have much of a mitten business anymore because it just isn't worth it, Jen Ellis explained to Slate. Quote, independent crafters get really taken for a ride by the federal government. We get taxed to the nth degree, and it really isn't worth pursuing it that much as a business or even as a side hustle.
Yeah.
Yep. Remember those anal swabs? She gets raked over the coals.
Hold on.
I'm a crafter. I do it as a side hustle.
Yeah. And despite
Cash
her
only.
outrage at the government for taking her money, Ellis told the Washington Post on Wednesday that she appreciated part of Sanders' radical education and debt forgiveness platform.
Oh my God!
That was the payoff I was looking for. That right there.
I'm
I've read
also
this fucking
super
article.
pro Bernie. Yeah, quote, I'm also super pro Bernie as a public school teacher. I can
Oh.
see every day how families are struggling. People are just trying to make ends meet, and they need things
What?
like student loan forgiveness and free education and a lot of things that Bernie is fighting for.
So she acknowledges that the
Oh my-
government is taxing the shit out of her. They are bending her over backwards.
To the
Trying
point
to
that she
fuck her.
closed her side business.
She stopped making mittens because of this. But she still says, but I support what they're trying to do.
My God.
This has made me laugh so hard.
This is
because
Stockholm
I've read this
Syndrome to the nth
Yeah.
degree.
Exactly.
Yes.
I've read this article, and this is fucking
Oh
like
my
I have to
God.
laugh so that I do not cry at the tragedy of it.
Yeah.
This is Stockholm Syndrome. This is somebody who has faced the financial reality that I can't operate a business.
Taxes are fucking squeezing the little guy.
Yeah, I
out of
can't
fucking
operate a
business.
business. I can't operate a business under
I
the
can't make
government
extra money.
tax structure. Under what they're doing, I can't possibly do this.
I
She
can't make
has
my own
suffered
life
from this.
better.
And
Right.
her response is, well, but I mean, it's okay because even though it clearly hurt me and the big guys are still able to keep operating, well, but maybe one day it'll hurt the big guys. I have
Or
faith.
maybe it'll help me. No. Wait. Like they don't fucking this doesn't
She has to do mental jumping jacks
yeah.
in this statement.
She's
she
doing
has
mental
These-
fucking burpees.
Yeah, these fucking people, this is how they react though. You again back to the Morpheus thing. These people are not ready to be unplugged. These people still believe, despite how horrible.
She would willingly take the anal swab.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people still.
Well, she
believe.
kind of already did.
Yeah, I bet she
They
didn't.
go.
I bet she didn't invest in GameStop either.
Yeah.
These are the people who
She's
go.
probably mad about that because that hedge fund probably has some effect on her 401k.
Yeah, these are the people who go.
Shakes
Well-
investors.
She's a public school teacher,
Yeah.
so she gets since she probably
Which
has
means they're the
tenure.
dumbest
She'd
people
have
I fucking
oh,
know.
absolutely. Which means she probably has tenure and therefore not a 401k. She actually gets a pension
Right.
because government-sponsored jobs still get pensions.
So all right,
Yeah, she's one of those people who goes, well, I know. I mean, she literally said, well, I know the government, has done these things and it's destroyed my business. And I know this firsthand, but you know what? That was a side effect. They didn't mean to do that. It's okay because what they did is they were trying to target the bigger guys and I just got caught up in it. Maybe
But
I
they
just
didn't target the big guys. They didn't actually help anybody, but they said they were going to. So that's
Yeah.
all right.
But
Yeah.
that's okay. And
Yeah.
and I just hope
I'm literally the
know-
only one who got hurt. But
yeah, and I
Yeah.
just hope that that they hurt the big people
Yeah.
at least a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean
gotta go.
that's this kind of person.
Oh. All right. On that note, throw out your plugs. What you got?
Buy
Oh my
Dierka's book.
Are you guys through it, Christopher? Did you guys finish it out?
I finished it just because I figured if the kids are gonna go through it, I might as well go through it too.
Yeah.
No, they haven't finished it yet. They're still
Andrew's got
working
it
their
right
way
there.
through. Yep, Andrew's got it.
You guys are the best man of whites a girl ever had.
I will say that it's worked wonders. My oldest was definitely heading down the left path, and after going through a few sections of the book, she's starting to see things for what they are.
Yeah. Excellent.
So we're heading in the right direction that way.
As long as she's, working that gray matter, that's what the book is about.
Yeah,
The book,
that's the
I'm
point.
going to be getting more copies for my daughter. I'm going to be getting copies for my nieces. Buy Dierka's book. It's wonderful. It's nice. It feels lovely.
It is linked. It is linked in the description.
and there are no, as much as Christopher says that it's changed kind of like the political views of his daughter, there are no politics in it. There's no agenda.
There's
There
no
aren't.
politics
There
in
aren't.
it. all it does is encourage people to think for themselves rather than believe what's
Right.
being told to them at face value.
Right. And kind
And
of
as a
goes through the
result-
steps of like
Right.
deductive reasoning and things like that.
And
like,
as a result, because she's following more of a linear logic path, she's seeing how far things diverge from that.
right. That's awesome.
Teaching
love hearing that.
people, logical syllogisms and the if then and just working through it.
Mhm.
That has a absolutely transformative effect
Yes.
on people with their thoughts.
Awesome.
Your beard struggle.
Yeah, so make sure you check out thebeardstruggle.com so that you get the opportunity to get a lovely, luscious, soft, wonderful beard like me that shines, and it is glorious. And it is Viking inspired because that is a Viking as fuck company.
Yes.
And
Their
use code.
Instagram is lit. It's fun.
It is nothing but Viking shit. It is the inked anarchist that you should be giving money to when you buy your shit. Use Inked Anarchist 15. That is Inked Anarchist 15, all run together. Use that to get 15% off of your order and support me. And also, fun fact, just saying, fucking fight the power.
Yes. Plug the shirts real quick too, since you're both fucking
So
wearing them.
Andrew and I are both wearing these T-shirts from Poppins Patches. They feature the Mandalorian helmet in Hawaiian print. The shirts are soft and extremely comfortable.
The Boogalorian.
The Boogalorian.
Yes.
And they are only $15 on the website
Yep.
plus shipping. So
Poppins
strongly
Patches.
encourage you to go over to popinspatches.com.
Link is in the
And-
description also.
Link is in the description, and pick yourself up either some high quality PVC patches, which I am featuring one myself, the Boogaloo Shark.
You guys, I'm gonna piss myself if you don't hurry up.
Yeah.
And Andrew is got the
This is the way.
Knuckles, this is the way. And just go over and check them out. They're a small company, they're a small operation, but they make some really high quality stuff.
Yes,
Yeah,
linked in the description below.
It's basically just
Yeah.
Dave.
it's
doing
Dave.
it. And,
It's Dave.
and it's
Long-winded
worth it,
sons of
man, I'm
bitches.
telling you.
I know they aren't they?
We're stretching it out on purpose,
I
Jason.
know.
Yeah.
I know. So on that note, I'm just gonna end. I gotta pee so bad. This is episode 123, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Later.